Local and international tourists in Maralal Samburu County got to experience the first camel competition after a 3-year break due to COVID-19. The camel competition, which kicked off with a 10-kilometer amateur competition, was flagged off by Maa Governors, led by Samburu Governor Jonathan Lati, who hailed the return of the International Camel Derby as a unifying factor of warring communities and celebration of cultural diversity. Our reporter Sarafina Robi is in Maralal and brings us the details.
At the break of dawn, we walk to the sounds of camels baying and spitting as if restless because of the fierce competition ahead in the Maralal International Camel Derby. The atmosphere at Tiare Grounds, the outskirts of Maralal town, was ecstatic as competitors, both local and international, signed up for the International Camel Derby. A few minutes later, 11 participants drawn from Kenya, United Kingdom, Germany, Austria and Asia stretched their camels to the flag-off point of the 10-kilometer amateur camel race amid cheers from several camel race enthusiasts. Cultural songs of the locals who donned the dominantly red traditional attire added to the splendor of the occasion. Samburu, Kajiado and Maa Governors accompanied Tourism Principal Secretary and the Kenya Tourism Board CEO to the flagging off point.
We wish the competitors all the best.
A cloud of dust is lifted to the ground as the race kicks off, taking the riders to the wild countryside of Samburu County. About an hour later, the winners arrive to a thunderous welcome and 100,000 shillings for the winner. For the participants, it was a thrilling experience.
It was an amazing experience, unlike anything I think I've ever done. The being at the start with everyone dressed up and being on the camels was a really incredible moment.
It's one of the hardest things I've tried. I've never ridden a horse, I've never ridden a donkey, I've never ridden a camel. After about 5K, I was completely tired, but we tried. You know what, I think I need a bit more practice. If I'm honest, I think I need to go home and practice.
Much more tiring than we expected. I've got blisters, my legs are shaking, my arms are shaking, but it was amazing. And the crowd was great, like everyone got involved.
The crowd was fantastic. Everyone is so welcoming and encouraging. And even on the longer roads, you could see everybody cheering us on. It was fantastic.
I think we might take a break for a while. Not because we didn't love it, more that I'm grateful to still have all of my bones.
I'll definitely be back. Maybe after my legs have recovered.
Thank you very much. Thanks
so much.
The governors hailed the event as the epitome of the Maa cultural diversity and the unifier.
Culture in Kenya, you might not know this, is the number 2 tourism earner in Kenya. It's only second to our parks and our wildlife. It's actually ahead of our coastal and beach tourism.
We are also encouraging other communities in Kenya to also have their own days where Kenyans celebrate the uniqueness of their culture, the uniqueness of the way of life. And I think by doing that, we will be able to make sure that all communities in Kenya coexist peacefully.
And it is gratifying to see that these international events bring communities that have been in conflict with one another to live together. And therefore, it is something to celebrate that people who have been feuding are finding alternative sources of livelihood in form of cultural tourism. And it's also nice to see how the northern Kenya value the camel, which is a source of livelihood to many communities. It's a hardy animal. And so we are here today are very proud Maa people.
One, it's one way of promoting our culture, which is very unique and very special. Secondly, it's also an important way of what I call sports tourism. As you may see, you have seen the camels, the competition and the racing, which is actually sports tourism. Secondly, we also have conservation issues that have been mentioned by the county and many other things that touch on tourism. But last but not least is the travel industry.
For the Kenya Tourism Board, the Camel Derby is a launchpad for diversifying tourism products.
But as Kenya Tourism Board, now we are requesting and asking the counties, how do we come up and really come in with an organized way of implementing cultural festival, so that it works for the counties, it works for the community, it works for the local people, it works for the small and medium type enterprises in the tourism sector, and they can also plan ahead. The marketing can be done in good time so that both the local community feel the impact of tourism in much greater level.
There were also the extras in this year's derby, characterized by traditional wedding of the Samburu.
Amepata kibali watoto ni yake kuanisia leo hata ni saa 2 msee tayari siji na mimi naonanga watu wengine na wakanga siji hii inaitwa nini pete kwa kanisa hii ndio pete wa Samburu
and the Turkana as well. 31st edition of the Maralal International Camel Derby ends tomorrow with a 21-kilometer professional race as well as a marathon and bike race.
Well, with the successful start of the Maralal International Camel Derby, the residents now hope that this will be enhanced and made regular for proper planning in the future. Sarafina Robi for Legends Edition from Maralal, Samburu County.